Welcome back to the Armenian Museum of America. I'm Yari Linsanani, I'm the curator, and I'd like to share another artifact from our collection with you. We recently had a lecture a couple of weeks ago with Ian Nagoski, and Ian is a specialist in old sound recordings, and he gave a wonderful talk about Zabelle Panosian. This is a book that Ian helped write. Zabelle was a very active Armenian opera singer in the 1920s and 1930s, lionized in the United States, and she had a very fascinating story. And she did recordings for Columbia Records. But when he was giving the talk, he also mentioned her daughter, Adrina. And Adrina, she called herself Adrina Otero as a stage name, and she was a professional Spanish dancer. And these are photographs of Adrina, and she was also a model. And she did a number of subject paintings. This is a picture of her with a guitar. This is a painting of Adrina in our collection without a guitar. And this was a painting of Adrina. This was made in 1942. At the time, she was 33 years old, which had just come back from a tour of Europe. And so this is basically the height of her career. And the painting itself was by Arthur Bomand. And Arthur Bomand was not Armenian. He was an American artist born in New York area, Long Island. And he started a comic strip back in 1913 called Keeping Up with the Joneses. And that was the origin of that phrase. That was the name of his comic strip, and it became a part of American idiom, keeping up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with the neighbors, basically social pretensions, or trying to climb the social ladder, such as the British show Keeping Up Appearances with Hyacinth Bouquet Bucket. Anyway, his cartoon comic strip ran from 1913 to 1938 when it got canceled. And when it got canceled, he went into portrait painting, and he's done a number of portraits and also some maritime scenes. This is a wonderful example of Bomand's work in a wonderful subject. Adrina had a nice figure, didn't she? And and Adrina was very successful, as I mentioned, as her mother was also. But professionally, people didn't realize that she was Armenian because she used a Spanish name in order to reinforce the idea that she was a Spanish dancer. But you and I know that she's Armenian. The Armenian Museum is here to share our stories, our artifacts, our culture with you, the public. We thank you for joining us. We hope you'll join us again. We thank Michelle Collegian, President of the Board of Trustees of the Armenian Museum, for making this series possible. Until next time, stay safe.